Hey guys, aqui é a Tia Sofia da SKYLIMIT Idiomas. O que você sabe sobre a cultura e os costumes dos Estados Unidos? Assista agora a Hannah, uma nativa americana, falando sobre as curiosidades dos Estados Unidos. E aproveite para treinar o seu inglês, porque o vídeo é todo em inglês.
Hey guys, my name is Hannah. I am from Atlanta, Georgia in the United States. I actually live on the Gold Coast in Australia at the moment though. I used to be an English teacher for a year at SKYLIMIT in 2013 and 2014. And I'm just here to tell you a little bit about the culture of the United States, particularly the south of the United States where Georgia is located. So one thing that is interesting about the US, I'm sure you've heard, is the food. Of course, we have a lot of fast food, but much more than just McDonald's and Burger King. One of my particular favorites is called Chick-fil-A. It's actually originally from Atlanta, and they make the best fried chicken sandwiches. It is heavenly. I love it so much. Another thing I love about American food is our breakfast. I think, we have the traditional bacon and eggs and hash browns and waffles, and we are really, really famous for our massive breakfast. Like, it's one of the things I miss the most about living in the US. And another really famous restaurant that I always recommend people to go to is called Waffle House. That's also originally from Atlanta. It is by far the best breakfast that you will ever have.
So one thing that Brazilians always find interesting about the US is the free refills. So first of all, any restaurant you go to, you will get free water. That's just a given. And then any soda that you order or any coffee or anything like that, they'll keep filling it up until you can't drink anymore. Another thing that's funny too is that you can order breakfast all day. I had previously mentioned the restaurant Waffle House. They have breakfast items on the menu all day, but there's other restaurants that do the same thing and you can order just an all-day breakfast.
Like Brazil, you guys like to party. We like to party as well. I don't think we party as late as you guys, but we have a lot of different types of beer. Budweiser is the most popular, but lately there's been a big movement of craft breweries like you guys have in Brazil with Heilige. Some other things we're famous for is whiskey, for example. That's from Tennessee, also in the South, Jack Daniels.
Another thing I want to talk about is the different holidays that we have. So one of the most famous ones, of course, is 4th of July. And that is our Independence Day from England. So one of the big things that happens is we have a lot of fireworks. And then probably the most popular thing to do is just grill out, barbecue with your friends. So you'll get invited to a party somewhere and then we'll do like hamburgers, hot dogs. So it's always a really fun thing. There's always people wearing American flags and everything is super American. There's usually parades that go on too, so that's pretty fun. And another holiday that we have that's really famous is Halloween. And it's celebrated on October 31st every year. And so what the kids will usually do is go trick-or-treating in their neighborhood. So they'll dress up in different types of costumes and then they'll go house to house and collect candy. I went trick-or-treating every year until I was probably 14, 15 years old. And then by that time I was more into going to Halloween parties and things like that. And then of course, once you get older, you still celebrate Halloween, but you're mostly just going to parties rather than trick-or-treating. And of course, you get to eat a lot of candy. One of my personal favorite candies is Reese's. I think that's one of the best one, and Twix. Another thing that people find interesting about the US is the animals that we have. In particular, what I think is really funny is the squirrels. To me, squirrels are so annoying because they're pests and they're everywhere, but they are cute because they have these really big bushy tails. And they're always in the road. You always see squirrels run over on the road and everything.
Another thing about American culture, as you know, is the sports. So we have our biggest sports are American football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. Hockey is probably more common in Canada and also the north part of the US where there's a lot more snow. It's not very popular in the south. So my favorite is American football. So at the university I attended for my undergrad, the University of Georgia, we have a really good football team. We are crazy about college sports in the south. Like we love American football. Like we plan weddings and events around games and everything like that. So one really fun thing that we do is tailgating. And so before football games, we usually set up some kind of, space outside with trucks and food and kind of barbecue and things like that. And then everyone just has a lot of fun, drinks, eats, and everything before the game. And basketball, I'm actually not really into basketball that much, but Atlanta has the Atlanta Hawks. I think it's probably more popular again in California and maybe some other cities. And then baseball. I think baseball is a lot of fun too because you really just go there to tailgate and then just have a good time with your friends. And the sport is actually very boring, but it's fun to go with a group of people and then occasionally watch the game. Something happens every once in a while.
We do like to go on holidays and vacation. So I would say particularly people from the South, from Atlanta. One popular destination is Florida, of course, because it's not too far of a drive away. And then internationally, I guess most people would go to Mexico. From Atlanta to Mexico is only about a 2-hour flight, and you can get really, really cheap all-inclusive hotels. So that is also another fun way that we like to spend holidays. I think almost all Americans have been to Mexico because it's right there, and they have amazing culture and food and everything. So that about sums it up right there. I am happy to answer more questions that you all have. Thank you.